Despised ex-human pilot buys a scrapped alien ship, and it turns out to be sentient. The hum of the city below never ceased, hovercars buzzing, neon signs flickering, and the chatter of millions of humans living their busy lives. But Kale felt like he didn't belong. Once he had soared among the stars with pride, celebrated as one of the best pilots in the Galactic Federation. Now he was despised, a name whispered with bitterness in hangars and command centers alike. It hadn't been his fault, not really. The mission had gone wrong because of bad intelligence and faulty equipment, but when the blame fell, it landed squarely on him. Federation law was strict, and public opinion even stricter. Kale had lost his rank, his ship, and most of his credits in a single day. Friends had vanished, leaving him alone, wandering the underbelly of the city in search of scraps and work no decent human wanted. Tonight, though, Kale wasn't thinking about the past. He had a plan, or at least, a desperate idea. His old instincts as a pilot never truly left him. Somewhere in the black market of the outer districts, there might be a ship worth salvaging. One that nobody wanted. One he could fix and fly again. The streets smelled of burnt fuel and metal, with occasional whiffs of fried street food. Neon signs buzzed in alien languages alongside English, advertising everything from synthetic protein bars to illegal starship parts. Kale walked past the stalls, eyes scanning the crates and piles of scrap ships. He wasn't looking for something new or shiny. He was looking for something with potential, something that could surprise even him. And then he saw it. Half buried under a heap of rusted engines and cracked hull panels was a ship unlike anything Kale had seen before. Its shape was smooth, organic, almost like it had grown instead of being built. The metal shimmered faintly in the dim light, showing patterns that seemed to shift as he moved. The sign next to it read, "Scrap alien vessel, damaged, non-functional, bargain price." Kale's heart beat faster. Most people would pass this over thinking it junk, but he felt something else, curiosity, excitement, a spark of hope. He ran his hand over the hull. It was cold, yes, but it hummed softly under his touch, a faint vibration like a heartbeat. "How much?" he asked the vendor, a thin, nervous man with too many tattoos. The vendor shrugged. "A few credits, cheap enough for a human ex-pilot like you. It's been sitting here for years. Nobody wants it, probably dangerous anyway." Kale smiled. Cheap, dangerous, unwanted. That was exactly what he wanted. He handed over his last credits and helped haul the ship onto the lift. As he worked, he couldn't shake the feeling that the ship was watching him. Not in a mechanical way, but in a way that suggested awareness, like it had a mind of its own. When he finally got it back to his apartment, the full extent of the damage became clear. Panels were cracked, wiring exposed, and systems completely offline. It looked dead. But Kale had a reputation for fixing things others considered impossible. He got to work immediately, connecting power cells, patching broken circuits, and cleaning layers of dust from control panels. Hours passed. Kale drank burnt coffee and muttered to himself as sparks flew from his tools. And then, just as dawn broke over the city, something remarkable happened. The ship's core glowed faintly. A soft hum filled the room. Then a voice, clear, not mechanical, not from any speaker Kale had installed, spoke in his mind. "Human, you awaken me." Kale froze. He stumbled back, dropping his wrench. What did you just say?" "I speak to you," the voice continued, calm but curious. "I have waited long, and now I sense life." Kale blinked, unsure if he was hallucinating from sleep deprivation. You're a ship?" he asked cautiously. "Yes, I am what you call a vessel, but I am more. I am aware. I am Earth." Kale's mind raced. Ships with artificial intelligence were rare, yes, but sentience, this was unheard of. You're alive," he whispered. "I am sentient, alive in the way your kind understands life. You have touched me, and now I perceive you. You are not like the others." Kale's chest tightened with a mix of fear and exhilaration. "Not like the others." "Your species has potential," Earth said, almost thoughtfully. I have seen humans before in records and whispers, but you carry something different, curiosity, persistence. Recklessness, yes, but also cleverness. Perhaps you are worthy of my trust. Kale laughed softly, a sound filled with disbelief. Trust? You barely know me and I just bought a rusty piece of junk. I know more than you think, Earth replied. Its tone was gentle but firm. And you will learn more if you are willing. I am not merely a vehicle. I am a partner, and partners demand respect. Kale felt a thrill he hadn't felt in years. He could almost feel the ship's awareness wrapping around him like a cloak. For the first time since the mission that ruined him, he felt hope. Maybe this sentient ship, was his second chance. Over the next few days, Kale began to explore Earth's systems. At first, they were frustratingly alien. The interface seemed to read his intentions before he typed commands. Panels lit up in response to his thoughts. When he tried to speak aloud, the ship answered in kind. It was as if they were learning each other's language, forming a rhythm, a bond. Earth was not quiet about its opinions. Why would you waste time on repairs in this way? It asked one morning as Kale worked on recalibrating the propulsion systems. Because I can, Kale replied with a grin, and because this ship deserves it. Unlike me, I've had my chances and failed. You have failed only according to others' judgment, Earth said, but I sense your capability. You are resilient. Kale smirked, feeling a warmth in his chest. Resilient. That was a word he hadn't allowed himself to embrace in years. Maybe Earth was right. Their first test came sooner than expected. While Kale was adjusting navigation arrays, a signal blinked on the display, distorted, weak but unmistakable. A human colony. Lost. Somewhere in the nebula beyond the outer rim, cut off from Federation contact for decades. Earth pulsed softly. They are alive, and you can reach them. Kale's heart leapt. We could save them. Yes, but it will be difficult. Are you willing? Kale didn't hesitate. He had nothing left to lose except maybe his pride. Yes, he said. Let's go. As he prepared for their first flight together, Kale realized something extraordinary. He was no longer alone, not in the cold, indifferent galaxy. He had a partner, a sentient, curious, and powerful being who saw potential in him when no one else did. For the first time in years, Kale Rin felt like a pilot again. Not just any pilot, a pilot capable of astonishing things. And Earth, his ship, his companion, was ready to show him the way. Outside, the city continued its noisy existence, unaware of the small miracle in a dusty apartment. But Kale didn't care. The stars called to him and he would answer, this time with a partner who understood him. The journey of Kale and Earth was only beginning, and already the galaxy felt wider, more alive, and full of possibilities. Kale Rin ran his hands over the controls of Earth's cockpit, feeling the smooth, organic curves beneath his fingers. The ship hummed in response, a low vibration that seemed almost like a purr. For the first time since losing his Federation rank, Kale felt alive again. The stars outside called to him, full of mystery, and Earth, his sentient, enigmatic ship, was ready to answer. You should slow down, human, Earth said, its voice echoing softly in Kale's mind. Your hands are shaking, Kale smirked. I'm not shaking. I'm excited. Besides, if you're feeling my nerves, then that's your fault too. Earth's pulse quickened. I do not cause nerves. I merely respond to them, and you are reckless. Reckless, Kale laughed. Maybe, but I'm alive. Isn't that enough? The ship hummed thoughtfully. Perhaps, but caution keeps life intact. Recklessness can end it. Kale shrugged, leaning back in his seat. He couldn't help but grin. Well, Earth, if we only do what's safe, we'll never get anywhere interesting. Earth was silent for a moment, as if considering. Then, softly, interesting, I will allow it, but do not mistake my allowance for ignorance. You are being tested. Kale's grin widened. Tests are my specialty. The first hours of their flight were awkward. Kale was rusty. His reflexes weren't as sharp as they used to be, and Earth's systems were alien. Panels lit up in strange colors. Controls shifted subtly under his hands, almost as if they had minds of their own. At first, Kale panicked. He had to think, adapt, and sometimes act without knowing what would happen next. "Stop moving that lever," Urith snapped once when Kale tried to adjust the navigation array too quickly. "I'm adjusting it. What's the worst that could happen?" Kale shot back. "The worst that could happen is you destabilize the core. That would be unpleasant." Kale laughed, partly out of nervousness, partly because he was thrilled. "Unpleasant, huh? Sounds like my kind of adventure," Urith sighed, or something like a sigh pulsed through the ship's hull. "Your definition of adventure is reckless, but I will allow it for now." After hours of trial and error, Kale and Urith began to find a rhythm. The ship responded to his thoughts and instincts, and Kale learned to anticipate Urith's subtle movements. It was like dancing with a partner who always knew the next step before you did. Slowly, the uneasy tension gave way to exhilaration. By the time they reached the edge of the nebula, Kale felt more confident. The dense, glowing cloud stretched for light years, shimmering with strange colors. The navigation array beeped warnings about turbulence, but Kale didn't falter. He felt Urith guiding him, warning him, and trusting him to make choices. "There," Urith said, its voice calm but excited. "The lost colony is nearby. Sensors detect life signatures. Limited communications. They are weak but alive." Kale's heart skipped. "We actually found them." "Yes, but getting through this nebula will be challenging. You must be clever," Kale grinned. "Clever is my middle name. Well, not officially, but it should be." The nebula was worse than Kale imagined. Gravity distortions twisted the stars, and pockets of ionized gas disrupted sensors. Every wrong move could strand them, or worse. Kale had to rely on instinct, intuition, and Urith's subtle guidance. The ship pulsed beneath him, almost like a heartbeat, responding to his commands before he even fully thought them. "You are improving," Urith said. "Faster than expected," Kale chuckled. "I told you, I may be rusty, but I'm still the best pilot you'll ever meet." Urith hummed, almost amused. "Confidence is impressive, arrogance less so, but your skills are remarkable." Hours passed, but Kale didn't notice. The nebula twisted around them like a living thing. He ducked, weaved, and calculated trajectories faster than the ship could communicate. Every time he made a risky maneuver, Urith adjusted instantly, protecting them from disaster but letting him feel the thrill. Finally, they reached the colony's location. Kale's eyes widened as he scanned the planet below. Tiny domes dotted the surface, some damaged, others still intact. Smoke rose in a few places and lights flickered. The colony was alive but struggling. "They are isolated," Urith said. "They will not survive long without intervention. Your species must act." Kale swallowed. "We can help. We have to." As they descended, Kale noticed the simplicity of human ingenuity. The colony was old, built from salvaged parts and adapted technology. Humans had survived here against impossible odds. They were resourceful, resilient, and clever. Kale felt a surge of pride. These humans were his people. "See," Urith said, sensing his thoughts, "your species is capable of greatness. Not through raw power, but through creativity, adaptability, and persistence." Kale smiled, feeling warmth in his chest. "I like hearing that." Their landing wasn't easy. The terrain was uneven and the domes were fragile. But Kale and Urith worked together, navigating the ship with precision. The colonists watched in awe as the strange, organic ship descended, its hull glowing softly in the nebula's light. When they finally landed, Kale climbed out, feeling more human than he had in years. He waved to the colonists, who stared with a mixture of fear and hope. "Don't worry," Kale called out. "We're here to help. My ship and I together will get you through this." A young woman stepped forward, tears in her eyes. Are you from the Federation?" Kale shook his head. "No, I'm just someone who knows what it's like to be left behind, but I promise we'll fix this." Urith pulsed beneath him. "And I will ensure no harm comes to them while they are under our protection. Trust is established." Kale laughed softly. Trust is a funny thing, isn't it? Especially with a ship that talks back. Urith hummed, its voice almost amused. I am not a ship that talks back. I am a ship that thinks, and I have judged you worthy. Kale grinned, feeling a bond stronger than any he had known. He had lost everything once, but now he had a purpose. A sentient ship that trusted him, a colony that needed him, and a chance to prove that humans were more than what the Federation believed. Over the next few days, Kale and Urith worked tirelessly. They repaired the colony's communication arrays, restored power, and taught the colonists how to operate salvaged equipment more efficiently. Kale noticed something amazing. Humans adapted quickly, innovating solutions he never would have expected. Each small success filled him with pride and hope. Urith observed quietly, occasionally offering guidance. Impressive, it said one morning. Your species continues to surprise me. Kale grinned. Surprise is kind of our thing. You'll get used to it. As the colony stabilized, Kale realized something important. This wasn't just a rescue mission. This was a chance to show Urith, and perhaps the galaxy, that humans were clever, resourceful, and resilient. Not through force, not through technology alone, but through ingenuity, cooperation, and determination. Urith pulsed again softly. I am beginning to understand your species. Perhaps I will enjoy this partnership more than I expected. Kale laughed, feeling warmth in his chest. Don't get too comfortable, you'll still have to answer to me occasionally. Urith hummed, a sound almost like laughter. We shall see, Kale grinned, but for now I will allow it. The stars outside shimmered, full of possibilities. Kale felt alive again. The nebula, the colony, the challenges, they were only the beginning. With Urith by his side, he knew humans could accomplish extraordinary things. And somewhere deep in the nebula, unseen and waiting, new adventures were already beginning to stir. Kale Rin's hands were steady now, moving over Urith's controls as if they were an extension of his own body. The ship hummed in response, pulsing under him like a heartbeat. The lost human colony was safe for now, but Kale knew that peace rarely lasted in the galaxy. Kale, Urith said, its voice calm but alert, we are being tracked. Kale froze. He had grown used to Urith's abilities, but the thought of being pursued again sent a shiver through him. Tracked? By who? Federation patrols. They have detected unusual energy signatures, our activity, and others. Alien traders are nearby. They may attempt to capture me. Kale's jaw tightened. He hadn't expected trouble so soon. Federation patrols and alien hunters. Looks like the galaxy wants to make things difficult. Difficulty is acceptable, but caution is advised. We are outnumbered and potentially outgunned, Urith warned. Kale smirked. Outnumbered, sure. Outsmarted. Not on my watch. The first sign of trouble came as a flicker on Urith's sensors, a streak of light slicing through the nebula. Kale adjusted the ship's trajectory, letting it twist and turn around the glowing clouds. The patrol ship followed, sleek and heavily armed. It fired warning pulses, trying to intimidate him. Do they expect me to surrender? Kale muttered. Because that's not happening. They are testing you, Urith said. They may escalate. Your ingenuity will be required. Kale's mind raced. The patrols were fast, but their movements were predictable. Urith whispered possibilities, evasive maneuvers, using nebula turbulence, and even manipulating the light refraction to make their ship appear elsewhere. Kale executed each suggestion flawlessly, and the patrol pulses missed. Impressive, Urith admitted, though there was no warmth in the voice, only calculated respect. Your species' ingenuity is formidable, Kale grinned. I told you, cleverness beats power almost every time. They evaded the patrol, but the alien traders were trickier. Unlike the Federation, they didn't follow predictable patterns. Kale had to improvise, using old smuggler tactics he had learned years ago. Urith adjusted its hull's refractive surface to mimic nearby asteroids, hiding them in plain sight. When one trader's ship got too close, Kale executed a sudden spiral dive, creating an illusion that Urith had vanished entirely. "Clever," Urith said softly. "I underestimated human cunning." Kale laughed, feeling alive in a way he hadn't for years. "Underestimate humans at your own risk." But the galaxy had more tests in store. As they moved farther from the nebula, Urith's sensors picked up another anomaly, a massive asteroid field, dense and chaotic, with unstable gravity pockets that could crush a ship in seconds. "They want to trap us," Kale muttered. "Let's see if they can." Urith pulsed with anticipation. "We must use your creativity and my abilities together. Only then will we succeed." Kale grinned. "I like the sound of that. Let's dance." Navigating the asteroid field was like threading a needle. Kale relied on Urith's guidance, but often he had to act instinctively, trusting his gut instead of the sensors. Rocks shifted unpredictably. Gravity pockets tugged at them. Urith whispered warnings, adjusted thrust, and even altered its hull shape subtly to glide through tight spaces. "Impressive coordination," Urith admitted. "I am enjoying this challenge," Kale chuckled. "I told you humans are full of surprises." Hours passed. They weaved through the asteroid field, dodging patrols and hunters, and finally emerged on the other side. Kale leaned back, exhausted but triumphant. Urith hummed softly, almost in approval. "Your species adapts quickly," Urith said. "And your problem-solving is superior to my initial calculations. You are proving your worth." Kale felt a flush of pride. "Worth, you'll see. Humans are always worth it. We survive, we improvise, we keep going." Their relief was short-lived. A sudden alert flashed on Urith's interface, a gravitational anomaly, massive and unstable, pulling them toward an unknown planet. Kale's eyes widened. "What is that?" "A rogue planet," Urith said. "It is not charted. Its gravitational pull is extreme. We must navigate carefully." Kale's mind raced. A wrong move could trap them forever, or worse. But he trusted Urith. Together, they analyzed the planet's orbit, calculated escape trajectories, and synchronized maneuvers with precision. Kale guided Urith through the gravitational currents, feeling the ship respond as though it were a living partner. "Careful, careful now," Kale whispered. The ship twisted, dodged, and surged with him. They cleared the planet's pull just in time, emerging into open space again. Urith pulsed with energy. "You were remarkable. Few beings could have survived that. Your species' ingenuity is fascinating." Kale laughed, though his body trembled from adrenaline. "Fascinating, huh? I'll take it as a compliment." As they drifted, Kale realized something important. This wasn't just about survival. This was a test of partnership. Urith was not a tool, it was alive, aware, and learning. And Kale was not just a pilot, he was more than his past failures. He was clever, resourceful, and capable of extraordinary things. Their journey continued. The lost colony was now safe, but the galaxy around them was far from peaceful. Other humans and aliens watched, some curious, some hostile. Kale and Urith would have to prove themselves again and again, not with brute force but with intelligence, cooperation, and creativity. "We make a good team," Kale said quietly, almost to himself. Urith hummed, a warm vibration through the hull. "Yes, I approve." "You are more than I anticipated. Perhaps humans are not as weak as history suggests," Kale smiled. "We're not weak, we're clever, adaptable, and sometimes stubborn." "You are stubborn," Urith agreed, "and yet admirable. Let us continue." Kale's eyes scanned the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, dangers, and opportunities. He had a sentient ship by his side, humans to protect, and his own pride and ingenuity to prove. The challenges would come, but so would the triumphs. And Kale Rin, once despised and alone, felt alive again, ready to face whatever the universe would throw at him. Because this time he wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. And with Urith, the galaxy would see what humans were truly capable of. The stars stretched endlessly before Kale Rin and Urith, each one a tiny spark of hope in the vast darkness of space. Kale sat in the cockpit, hands steady on the controls, his mind alert, his heart racing. They had survived the nebula, the rogue planet, and the alien hunters. The lost colony was safe for now, yet the galaxy was far from quiet. "Kale," Urith said, its voice calm but serious, "there is a new development. The colony has detected another signal, a distress call. Human freighters stranded near a volatile star system. They are low on fuel and supplies. Without intervention, they will perish." Kale leaned forward, gripping the controls. "So the galaxy isn't done testing us yet?" "No." "But this will be your greatest challenge so far," Urith replied. Its hum pulsed with urgency. "You must navigate the solar storm, rescue the freighters, and return safely. Your ingenuity will be tested beyond what you have faced before." Kale smiled faintly. "Then let's get to work. We don't leave people behind." The star system was alive with danger. Massive solar flares erupted unpredictably, sending arcs of plasma shooting into space. Gravity wells twisted the stars around them. Any wrong calculation could destroy a ship instantly. Kale felt the familiar thrill of challenge, the way a true pilot felt when the universe dared him to fail. Urith guided him through the first wave of solar flares. "Adjust your approach angle by 2.4 degrees, it instructed. "Then engage lateral thrusters to compensate for electromagnetic interference." Kale executed the maneuvers with precision. Sparks flew from minor equipment, warning lights flashed, but the ship held steady. "We're clear for now," he said, exhaling. "Your adaptability is impressive," Urith commented. "Few beings could have survived that without catastrophic damage." Kale laughed softly. "Few beings, maybe, but humans, we find ways, we survive." The freighters came into view. Tiny specks in the swirling chaos of the solar system, drifting helplessly toward deadly radiation belts. Kale's pulse quickened. Each ship represented lives, ingenuity, and the fragile persistence of humanity. They could not fail. Urith whispered guidance, nudging Kale toward the first freighter. "Approach from the starboard side. Use the gravity well to slow your descent. Minimal thrust to avoid destabilizing the ship." Kale nodded, trusting the sentient ship beneath him. The freighter was battered, smoke rising from its engine bays. Panels flickered with warning lights. The pilot inside waved frantically, uncertain if rescue was even possible. "Hold steady," Kale murmured. "Almost there." With careful precision, Kale docked with the freighter. Urith's hull shifted, locking securely without damaging either vessel. Kale exhaled in relief. "Got it. One down," Urith hummed softly. "There are 3 more." Kale's grin returned. "Then let's not waste time." The next freighters were harder. Some were caught in minor gravitational vortices. Some had damaged thrusters. Others had hull breaches. Kale and Urith worked as one, navigating each ship with creative maneuvers, using Urith's alien abilities to stabilize the vessels while Kale guided them with human intuition. "Clever," Urith said after rescuing the 3rd freighter. "Your species' problem-solving is remarkable. I am beginning to understand why humans endure." Kale smiled faintly. "We're stubborn and smart enough to survive almost anything." The final freighter was the most damaged. Its hull was barely intact and the pilot had lost communication with the others. Kale studied the readings. The ship would not survive a direct approach through the radiation storm, but he had an idea. "Urith, can you generate a shield bubble around us?" "Just big enough to envelop the freighter," Urith's systems pulsed in thought. "It is possible, but energy consumption will be extreme. We must act carefully." Kale nodded. "We don't have a choice. Lives are at stake." Urith hummed, channeling energy through its hull, forming a shimmering barrier around Kale's ship. The freighter drifted into the bubble, and Kale guided them both through the solar flares. Sparks flew, alarms blared, but the barrier held. With careful maneuvers, he led the freighter to safety. When they were clear of the storm, Kale looked back at the freighter, its crew cheering. Relief washed over him. "We did it," he said softly. "Yes," Urith replied. "We did. Your species is capable of astonishing feats." "I am impressed," Kale laughed, feeling warmth in his chest. "Impressed? You've been impressed for days. What else do you want?" Urith pulsed thoughtfully. "I want to understand. I want to see the limits of your ingenuity, and I want to continue this partnership. You have proven humans are more than history describes, clever, resourceful, and persistent. I am proud to accompany you." Kale felt a lump in his throat. "Proud, huh? Well, I'm proud too. Proud to have you by my side, Urith. Together, we can do more than survive. We can thrive." For the first time, Kale felt a profound sense of purpose. He was no longer a fallen pilot, a pariah, or a failure. He was a human capable of extraordinary things, and he had a sentient companion who saw the truth of it. As they charted a course back to the lost colony, Kale reflected on how far he had come. The galaxy had tested him, pushed him to the limits, and forced him to rely on ingenuity, empathy, and courage. He had faced dangers that would have killed ordinary humans and survived. Not through brute force, but through clever thinking, cooperation, and determination. "Urith," Kale said quietly, "do you think humans can change the galaxy?" The ship pulsed in thought. "They already have, Kale, through survival, through adaptability, through partnership. The galaxy underestimates humans. They see weakness where there is strength, but I now see the truth. Your species is remarkable," Kale smiled. "Then let's show them, one step at a time." The return journey was calm compared to the chaos they had endured. The stars shimmered with quiet beauty, the nebula far behind them. Kale felt a sense of accomplishment, but also anticipation. There were more challenges ahead, more mysteries to explore, and more humans who might need their help. When they returned to the lost colony, the inhabitants greeted them as heroes. Children waved, elders nodded in respect, and adults whispered gratitude. Kale felt something swell in his chest. This was what it meant to make a difference, not for fame, not for reward, but because it was right. "You have done well," Urith said, its hum gentle and approving. "Your species' ingenuity has saved many. I am honored to witness it." Kale leaned against the hull, looking at the sentient ship that had become his partner, his friend, and his mentor in its own way. "And I'm honored to have you with me. Together, we'll see how far humanity can go." The stars outside shimmered, full of promise. The galaxy was vast, full of danger, wonder, and opportunities. Kale and Urith had survived, yes, but more importantly, they had thrived. They had proven that humans were clever, resourceful, and capable of extraordinary things when faced with impossible odds. And somewhere beyond the horizon, new adventures awaited, mysterious systems, uncharted worlds, and challenges that would test the limits of human ingenuity and courage. Kale Rin, the once despised pilot, looked out at the stars with a renewed heart. He was alive. He was free. And he was ready to show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. With Urith pulsing beside him, he knew that together they could face anything. And in that moment, Kale realized something profound. The universe was not a place to fear, but a canvas for humans to leave their mark, cleverness and courage shining brighter than any star. The journey had only just begun.